everybody, and welcome to teamfortress.tv, where this evening we're very excited to have a TF2 matchup that you may have been looking forward to with all the news that has been going along and roster changes, and it's just making me all tongue-tied. Boy, oh boy. And my co-caster, Truktruk, was making me laugh right before this cast. It's like he wanted me to start laughing or something like that. My name's Getawhale, of course. Truktruk, boy, you just must be so excited for the TF2 we have here tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm pumped and ready to go. I'm looking forward to seeing these two new Street Hoops gamers. Speaking of Street Hoops, they're Street Hoops now. They're not Team Solo Uber. They're Street Hoops now.
You are correct. Before we dig into this this fantastic slice of the game this evening, I want to mention Mathsad doing production, aka Dash Sniper. So yeah, Kurt, obviously we have kind of what some might consider kind of a marquee matchup in ESEA Invite here this evening. We have Ascent facing off against, as you said, Street Hoops eSports. If you guys don't follow the news and rumors and changes and drama and the action on teamfortress.tv, the website, you're missing a lot, because just in the past 24 hours, Invite's going bonkers. Kurt, it feels like the more things change, the more they stay the same. Is that a good assessment?
Yeah, Street Hoops is basically back to where they used to be a little while ago, with Kozen and Ash hopping back on the squad with the departure of Ninja Nick heading over to Froyotech. So
yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Now, a lot of people, you obviously know Ash because he played most recently on Froyotech, playing Scout. He's back on the Roamer class now, and with the other change that came with that is Grape is now gone, unfortunately, from the team. So we're looking at Ash on Roamer, and of course Showstopper Pocket. But Ash on Roamer is like really exciting. I'm just going to put it that way. He formerly played Roamer, and even though he did play Scout for quite a while, I've always thought of him as a Roamer, and he's honestly, like a lot of people have been saying the past 24 hours, one of the best roamers, just period, or at least he was last time we saw him.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that statement, at least this season. He definitely stacks up in the top roamers in Invite, but it depends. Like, maybe he lost his charm after playing Scout on Froyo, or just taking a break from the game. We will see. He's definitely been away from the game for a fair amount of time. Maybe he has to shake off some rust, but he's going to need to be playing on his A game if he wants to beat Ascent here.
Yeah, facing off against Ascent, we were discussing this before we went live, they're very heavily favored on Saloon.tf. I think surprisingly so. It seems like the community think that, 91.2 to 8.8%. Very, very interesting to me, because I really think that, Street Hoops eSports have really kind of, I don't want to say upgraded, but I just feel like this 6 that they have now is very strong. I feel like Ash can hopefully jump in and perform well on Soldier, where Grape was maybe kind of a little done, a little burned out so far this season on Soldier. He's gone because my understanding is he's just kind of not enjoying the game as much. But then the other flip side of that coin, Kurt, which I also mentioned, is I don't really know. This just happened in the past 24 hours, and I don't think that this new 6 on Street Hoops eSports have really had a chance to play together any more than once.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before the cast, that they only got 1 or 2 days of scrimming in. So that could be kind of rough, but all these people know each other. They're all buddies, so it's not like they're bringing new blood to the team. So it might be a different situation when it comes to this roster shuffle. But speaking of the other player, Kozen, 20B Kozen. I'm a huge fan of Kozen on Medic. In my opinion, on his A game, he is the best medic, other than maybe Shade in North America. So he brings a lot to the table. I think he's I wouldn't say a huge upgrade, because in my opinion, I think Ninja Nick's probably the second best behind Kozen on his A game, but it's still an upgrade, I think. Kozen is a very strong medic, and according to Mela and several other sources, he's a very strong main caller as well, and that might have been what TSU, the old TSU, Street Hoops have been missing, and we'll find out.
Yeah, we will. We didn't mention it, but like you say, the news that went down, the first thing that happened was Ninja Nick, the former medic here for Street Hoops, left. He jumped ship, went over to Froyo Tech, now the medic for that team, and they brought back in Cozen. Cozen, we have actually seen, you and I here, Kurt, this season already. He was formerly on the hands-off roster, and during Snakewater, just week one, he actually had to kind of come in and back up when there were some connection problems in that. He wasn't playing med, but med is kind of, I would say, what he's pretty much most well known for. He's a hell of a soldier, too, but yeah, I mean, he's got his plate full ahead of him going up against Ascent, but certainly, I think that I'm really excited to see this. Some of these old Street Hoops dudes coming back, and we're only about a third, almost a halfway into the season, and so there's certainly plenty of time here for maybe Street Hoops to jump back up the ladder a little bit. In terms of the standings, I mean, they're, I believe, 3 and 4, so they're below 500 right now, and kind of getting to the point in the season where you want to make stuff happen, right?
Oh yeah, of course, and it does kind of suck that they have to play against the probably best team in the league. I would say Ascent is pretty much the best team in the league. It's definitely up in the air between them, Froyo, and maybe even EVL. But yeah, it's going to be a rough start, I think, for 20B. But I hope they stick together because I do like this squad. And you never know. We've been wrong so many times in the past.
Yep.
This season has been all over the place. It would
Yep.
not be out of character for this season for this to be a 5-hole roll for Street Hoops.
Well, yeah.
Who
I mean,
knows?
you think of the past, even going back to the end of last season, we can't always count on, our instinct anymore because going back last season, we of course had the huge upset of TSU at the time, now Street Hoops. They knocked off Froyotech, which seemed impossible. This season as well, Ascent, they've already had their chances at an undefeated season spoiled because they dropped one this season to Froyo just earlier in the season, and so we've seen kind of glimpses that maybe Ascent aren't invincible, and we've seen certainly that the guys on this Street Hoops eSports team they can they can do it. They can do it, Kurt. They can make a hell of an outcome sometimes when they're on their best.
Yeah, I'm really glad this squad is stuck together because they definitely have had a very underwhelming season so far. I think at the beginning of the season, pretty much everybody would have put them in the top 4, like no questions asked, and they're like not even on the verge of making playoffs right now. So it's really cool that they're sticking together, and hopefully we can see some good gameplay out of them. Yeah. I think we will. I want to see this 20B team succeed. There's a lot of likable gamers on that team, and they've proven to be great in the past. They made finals last season. So,
yep. I mean,
yeah.
what can you imagine? I mean, what a great way to sort of bring in this new squad, this new roster, then for Street Hoops to step up here and take 3, 4, or 5 even rounds off of the defending champs. Who, I mean, honestly, they're 6-1. I mentioned their loss to the Danny and Clockwork led Froyo earlier in the season, but Ascent are really, really good. Let's talk about the.
I think you disconnected Getawhale. I don't know what's going on. All right, it's okay. Getawhale, just his mic cut out for there a second. I think you're back, Mike.
Right? Hello.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
I think your mic just cut off for a second there.
Oh yeah. That's the it's coming across the island that I live on. No, all I was saying is let's talk about the map Badlands. Now, who does this map favor, or do you think it's pretty much split?
I actually have some interesting information. I was streaming today, and my buddy 44 was watching, who happens to be on Ascent, and he said they didn't scrim this map yet.
Oh.
So that could play in favor of 20B. And
now I'll tell you though, they just did scrim it right before this match. They did. I was watching them, in fact, on the stream of Banny, who was a little bit on tilt because Ascent were having quite a fun time on this map. So maybe maybe that's the key. You just save your scrims until right before your match, and then you just kind of roll right over.
Yeah, I'm definitely even with like all that information, like they only have 1 day of scrimming. I really think Ascent is going to be strong. They look so good against EVL, who is a great team. Like EVL have proven to be such a strong team this season, but Ascent seems to be head and shoulders above the competition, in my opinion. Other than maybe on Viaduct, but yeah, I think it's not going to be close, Mike. This Ascent squad is looking really strong, at least judging by yesterday.
So we want to move on to Preds then?
Of
Does that mean you're
course.
heavily favoring the Ascent crew?
Yeah, I just don't see 20B really just like putting it all together after a day's worth of roster changes, you know? Even though they're all friends, it doesn't mean they've been playing together for very long, you know? So with that said, I think 20B is only going to be able to squeak out one round here, Mike.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Ascent 5-1.
Wow, 5-1. Well, you know, Kurt, all season long, our Preds have gone a certain way, which is that you always bet with your heart and with the team that's usually favorited by most people. And then I go the other way, not always necessarily believing in what I'm saying, but it's almost always gone that the underdog has, if not, you know, come out the winner. They've certainly done amazing. So I'm going for Street Hoops. I'm feeling it.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag 20believe, hashtag hoop dreams, you know, hashtag Carter. Help me out? What are some other hashtags? That's all the ones I know. But I'm thinking maybe like a 4-3, maybe a slower kind of game where they run out of time. That sounds crazy, I know, but we've seen crazy things this season. We just have.
Yeah,
it's real.
Like, Badlands can be kind of an upset map because if you get that Spire, it's kind of hard to push back out onto Spire. So there's a lot of back cap potential. So maybe some shenanigans with that can favor 20B.
So, I mean, do we look to the scouts then? Because when I think of Badlands, one of the big things I always think of are classic mix-up, rest in peace, but I always think of like Enigma backcaps and like sneaky scout backcaps. I don't know if you're with me there a little bit or not, but we don't see them necessarily that often anymore because this is Invite, and Invite's getting better and better every season. But is that something to look for, or I guess just in general on the map? I mean, are the scouts possibly going to be a difference maker in this one? We're looking at the matchup here of, you know, we got Yomps Shrugger versus Alec.
Sizer and Alec.
Alec, yeah. I mean, do you think that's a lopsided matchup, or how do you think this plays out?
I don't know. I think Yomps and Shrugger are just really, really good. I think the only two scouts in Invite that can really contest them are Clockwork and Banny on Froyotech. And we'll see. They're going to have their hands full with Shrugger and Yomps. And I do agree that looking at the scouts on this match and on this matchup, or on this map and on this matchup, is a very good idea. This is a pretty decent scout map. There's some pretty wide open areas which do favor scouts. I'm sorry, I'm barfing all over my words here. Well,
don't barf, Kurt. It's okay.
Don't barf.
If you need to puke, you just tell me, and we'll you know, open a window or something. We'll get you a cloth, a cold face cloth to put on your face, maybe.
I'm wearing my green shirt, so it's okay.
Hey. Well, yeah, I'm looking at the other class matchups and everything else. You know, you can make arguments for either team kind of being a little better or a little worse on, you know, the soldier matchups, I think, or even the demos almost. So, for example, we got Showstopper and Ash now. Again, we already talked about how Ash is, at least last time we saw him, one of the top roamers really in the whole league, going against Rando and Mela. Do you think that if both teams are playing all right, that can be a close matchup too, or do you really think Ascent has a big edge in that soldier matchup also?
I don't. Soldiers, I think it's a little bit closer. It really depends on how Ash plays. Like Mela and Rando have been very strong soldiers for a very, very long time, and Ash has as well. And Showstopper's like kind of working his way in there, you know. So I do think Ascent is favored. Like I said, I think it's gonna be 5-1. So on all fronts, except for maybe Medic, I think they are favored.
Yeah, and speaking finally about the demos, we got, of course, Duwatna on the side of 20B, which I love saying again, but versus Badonsky. And like I said, we were watching some of the Ascent scrim against Froyo prior to this game, which was streamed by a couple people online. But it looked to me that Cyrus was doing that Cyrus thing. He was causing lots of frustration. from the other side. It's hard to argue against Badonsky being the best demo in this one, isn't it?
I mean, Dewatna's pretty damn good. Like, he was on one of the best teams ever in
Yeah.
Froyotech last season, or
Yeah.
the seasons past, rather. I do think it's pretty much even. Dewatna's great, but Badonsky, yeah. As long as Badonsky's having a good game, like he actually has been a little bit less consistent than we've normally been seeing him this season. But yeah, even with that, I think he's really strong. I don't know what to say, man. Like it's like I keep saying this. I think Ascent is definitely favored on like all fronts, man. This is gonna be a tough game for 20B, and I'm a fan of 20B. I want to see them top 4 at the end of the season. I want to see them make playoffs. I want to see them take some rounds this game, but I don't 20 believe just yet. You gotta prove it.
You don't 20 believe just yet. Well, there you go. Maybe we can, if there's fans out there in the Twitch chat who think, maybe you can try to convince Kurt. Get your chance going. We haven't spoken to chat. Let's get an idea what you guys think in Twitch chat. Do you think that this 20B squad, do you think that they're able to just sort of pick it up right away so quickly after this lineup change and do it? Or do you think maybe they'll need a week or two? I mean, even when you're friends, I mean, you said it, Kurt, team chemistry and sort of getting the feel for one another, especially after being away from the game for so much, is a pretty big deal. I mean, like I said, I was looking through Ash's profile and whatnot. I was looking through Logs TF, trying to find logs, and really does seem like he's just been really away for quite a while from the game. I could be wrong. He might have played a ton, and it just isn't really recorded anywhere. There could be some secret, facility in international waters where he was warming up. I don't know, but yeah. I think
he's playing some offline TF2 on a secret Steam account. Training for this match. You never know. It could be possible. Ash is a pretty wacky dude, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. How about off-classing? Badlands isn't always a map where we see a whole lot of off-classing. Not really known for it. We'll see the occasional, normally on defense at last, just like any other 5CP and whatnot. Any ideas? You want to give us the spread on what to watch for?
You definitely can throw down the spy and the sniper on this map. It's definitely not as common, but throwing down the spy for some backcap, like this map is so prone to backcaps because there's like so many entrances you have to clear when you're pushing out of your last. So a spy can throw a fork in there, throw a wrench in there, not a fork. I guess it's TF2, so maybe a fork.
Yeah, well, hey, maybe throw, I don't know, something, I don't know. We'll figure out what to throw in there.
Snipers are pretty strong when you're like pushing into Spire. If you have a stalemate situation, you can throw a sniper on mid and kind of slow the game down if you're ahead, which I'd like to see 20B do if they are pulling ahead early on.
They're up for it, yeah. One play that I think of on Badlands, which I've seen maybe a couple times, but it's when there's a team attacking last, sometimes the team that's defending last, they'll send in a sack and then bring up the spy and try to bring the spy up around onto bats to come in from behind and backstab the med. I've seen that play once or twice, so I don't know, that's what I think of, and there's a lot you can do with a spy on here. And of course, you got the standard pyros. We see a whole lot on last, trying to
the Highlander defense.
Yep. And engineer heavy, the whole nine. But in terms of sniping, I mean, we might even see some snipers. I'm looking up and down the lineup here, and I see quite a few players that are known to snipe. It's worth mentioning. I love reminding people, but a few seasons ago now, Ash was actually the leading sniper in terms of stats in the league, and this is while he was playing roamer. So he can certainly snipe. Maybe we'll see him jump on and try to be a difference maker in that way. Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's an interesting stat. Yeah. As we go live here, Getawhale.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we should watch Ash. What do you think? I love him on mids.
Agree, 100%.
I'm a huge fan of Ash on mids. He's very consistent, does a lot of work. With the roamer on the mids, and with the roamers in general, we don't always see them necessarily rack up the kills, but what they can do on the mid, we're going to look here for Ash to, see if he can get some good early damage, but I guess we're watching for Rust here too, aren't we, Gert?
What's that? We're locked in for Rust?
We're looking for Rust. We're gonna play a game of Rust.
Well, yeah, see if we can shake off the Rust. Is
Ash
Ash gonna
is
shake
rolling
off
up
the
left
Rust?
side here. He's actually doing kind of an unconventional thing here, not really going with his team. He sees Rando jumping. He's gonna try to go in right behind here. He's coming in on the medic. Gets a rocket on a 404. Drops him and Badonsky and Mela at the same time went down. So, holy God. Now it's still a 3v3 situation. Kozen's still up, trying to fire out some rockets here. He's got, oh boy, it's only Yomps left up here who's gonna try to do it, but give that first mid to the new Street Hoops eSports, and they're gonna have full ad heading into labs.
Yeah, I think Ash was practicing in an offline server, training his little heart out, because he hit like every single rocket there and just dominated that mid before it even started.
Oh boy.
Great
Here we
stuff
go.
from Ash.
Yeah, well, here we go. Can we say that yet? Here we go. Now, that's only the mid. You know, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but that looked okay. So now trying to build up Uber is going to be set here. Looks like they've got time because 20B looked like they just want to kind of sit back, play this safe. They didn't even attempt to take Spire here, Kurt.
Oh no, they're waiting for the respawns. They're pushing in now. Duatna's leading the charge with those sticky bombs, and I think they're gonna be able to push Ascent back without having to use their Uber. So good stuff from 20B as they're trying to get into this lobby. Yeah, they're just walking in. Kozen's walking in with Showstopper. It looks like they're going to be popping.
Shows
They
in.
do pop.
Oh boy. Yeah, they're right in. They get one rocket on a 404 before he pops. We've got a Uber v Uber situation. Size are going to kind of dig in. Looks like a real good Uber for Red though, positionally here. Show going to try to come down the steps and oh, but here we go. Shrugger was out kind of in lobby and just kind of forcing them. Gonna have a repush here from 20B as Mela goes down on the flank. It was to Ash.
Well, Show's on the med right now. Show's like at their spawn, just doing so much damage. He takes on Badonsky. 4-4 is just trapped off on the side, and they cap the point. So a pretty solid Uber exchange from 20B. Oh my God. This season is great, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna watch Duatna. He finished off that last mid very strong. I want to see what he does early on. As he rolls out through his own house here, and he's looking out the window. He's spamming at Badonsky. He takes a little bit of damage and some fall damage. Badonsky is kind of locking him out here as Showstopper is trying to push him back. Showstopper gets skyboxed into his own valley, but 20B is still pushing ahead, and Shrugger is just denying all of 20B from getting on top of the point. Oh my God, they are struggling to get any sort of high ground. A Showstopper is trying to do some damage, and he fails to do so.
Alec is
in behind.
Yeah. I've got to say, there was really nice focus fire that time by Ascent. Seems like they really kind of took a breath and just kind of, here's Alec now, comes in on the combo. Really nice focus fire there. 20B looked a little more separated. I was watching Ash, who had a delayed jump, which was a little different. Was maybe hoping for a sneaky pick, but here we go now. Full ad belongs to Ascent this time, and 20B, oh boy, they're going to be very lucky here if they can get Uber before we see Ascent come right in.
Yeah, they're charging in quick. They are not wasting any time, and they're going to have a huge Uber advantage. They're going to be looking to get some picks with this Uber, and they're walking through upper with Badonsky and Rando. I'm going to be getting on the Rando cam if I can get to it. Here they come. No, it's not Rando, it's Badonsky and Shrugger, and they're taking down the sentry gun very slowly. They actually don't even get it down. They do get Alec, but that's about it. They do lock 20B into their spawn, but they are not really getting too many more frags.
They've got good positional advantage here. Yeah, all they had to do was get on it. It's really nice by Ascent. They just sort of held the high ground there and just sort of fired down onto 20B. So just like that, it's 1-1. We reset.
Yeah, they didn't really get too many frags with that Uber, but they just pushed them back into spawn, which allowed Yomps to just stand on the point. Free cap. Easy life.
I'm looking at Ash again just because, I don't know, I'm an Ash fan, you know, sue me. You know what I'm saying? He's rolling up with his team here now. He's in Valley. He's getting ready to jump. He's going to look for a med here. Now he's just going to get in behind. We've got the roamer behind play, as it's called. He's in on the medic. 404 trying to surf away. Real nice surf out. Meanwhile, back on point, we've got Mela in way deep trying to get in on Kozen. Kozen's staying alive here, but oh boy, he loses his scout. And it's only him and
in deep on Kozen right now. Here, Kozen's trying to live. But Badonsky is having none of it. Oh, he just gets trapped out. This is looking really bad for 20B. Getawhale. They lost their medic super late. The only saving grace was Ash's persistence to get 4-4 on that mid. And we do have even Ubers, but Ascent is going to be holding the fourth point.
Yeah, well, I mean, now, and wow, Kozen, geez, on that long respawn, almost should have thought about the kill bind there, just now getting his respawn. Almost opens the door here for an off-class or, some wackiness here, some sacks and whatnot. 4-4's at 45%. Yeah. I mean, we've got some TF2 here.
Yeah,
that sounds generic, but this is.
They are fighting in lobby here. Showstopper goes down, and 20B is just looking to fight after they lose Showstopper. Is Ascent just going to dry push here? They just got 2 picked, and they're getting more. Yomps is not done. He takes down Alec, and Shrugger and Rando are up through the upper area.
It's
a nice rocket. Badonski's following up with some great damage from Shrugger and Yomps.
No Cozen
I
at all.
don't know what the hell that was.
He got caught out in the lobby. Well, he was caught in lobby. He was down to nothing. The health pack was taken, and
they lost.
He just
they
died.
lost Showstopper and then tried to do like a forward hold after losing a player, and then they just bled to death until they lost the round. Very, very rough chemistry going on there. I'm gonna be watching Badonski here on this mid. He doesn't really see anybody. He's looking at Dewatna in that window, and he's again. Ash is jumping in deep. Oh my god. He's getting locked down by Shrugger though. Sizer's pushing across the point. He does take down 4-4. They're going to be looking to get Cozen on this mid. Cozen is out completely, I believe. Yeah, they're still chasing him though. Ascent is looking so strong.
Yeah, they really are. And I think you really kind of nailed it, Kurt. You almost wonder, is this now kind of the disorganization that comes with, you know, just picking up new people? You haven't quite played together yet as a group of 6 guys. Could be that's what we're seeing. Mela's, you know, starting to come in here. We're starting to see the attack from Ascent. I mean, they are the defending North American champs, Kurt.
Yeah,
that's
but
real.
This is a different situation than the last round because Cozen did stay alive and 4-4 died. So they have Uber advantage, and they're going to be able to get... wow, they didn't even get Spire. Ascent was just... They just lost so many players at mid, I guess. They just weren't willing to go push Spire with their player advantage.
Well, plenty of time. I mean, geez, we've only gone 7 minutes into this half here just yet. So leading the way now, we've got Sizer, we've got Rando, we've got some Alec here. They're going to try to take this mid if they can. Lots of bombs, lots of spam.
God.
Wow. Rando and Badonski both going down to spam there, Kurt.
And they're pushing right through. Ash doing so much damage on that choke area. Hit 3 nice rockets onto 4 people. And they might be able to get this. Oh man, 4-4's getting locked down. You're going to have a really awkward Uber. Oh my god. Showstopper going down.
Wow, Mela though.
Good force coming from 20B. As long as they don't bleed too many more players. If Alec goes down here, this is actually really not good for 20B. If Alec can live, oh, he doesn't. They're actually probably gonna have to give up mid now. So it turned out to be a good Uber from Ascent. A little bit of an overextension from 20B, maybe some lack of communication, but they do have Uber still. They're looking to defend this midpoint.
Oh boy, there's respawns coming in, but I don't know if they're going to get here in time. They're going to try to back off this squad a little bit at mid, but Rando just standing in there. Dewatna spam not touching him. Rando popped up a little bit now, and a little bit of danger. He goes down there. Mela got Sizer in the meantime, but Dewatna's going to try to just keep pushing right through this choke, or else they're going to have to back right up here, and oh boy, Dewatna's maybe going to have to get out here, Kurt.
Yeah, Showstopper and Mela are having an MG fight in the valley area, and Showstopper escapes. And Alec is in deep onto Badonski right now. This is a very aggressive fight. Neither Met has Uber. Ascent is approaching Uber right here. Cozen is a little caught out, and Yomps takes him down. They're going to be charging through with their Uber here.
Yeah, this is Dewatna now going to try to hold him off, but Ascent, like you said, with a huge advantage. Now, Alec is hiding. I don't know if they know that Alec is here. He's going to come out looking for the med. He's in a 4-4. He gets taken down right away, and so that worked out fine. Ascent here really kind of holding the upper hand. They have the upper hand, Kurt.
Yeah, 20B just getting really greedy, trying to get make some plays with the no Uber v no Uber, and they just couldn't really get much out of it, and they got punished for it, and they're gonna lose Spire for free.
Well, they're gonna kind of man mode this Bats area if they can, although Ash takes down Mela with a nice little pick here on Bats. 20B gonna come out here, but boy, if they lose 1 or 2 players here, it could be real bad. Showstopper gonna try his turn. He's gonna retreat through trash. Looks like, oh boy, I don't know. They're trying to just spam this out and I guess hold the send off, Kurt.
Yeah, they're setting up a forward hold, but they don't have Uber just yet. If Ascent is keeping track of Ubers, they should know to just take the Uber right into him here. But I'm not sure. The time is ticking. They're backing off. They're backing off. They got Uber. They're backing off. They're not. They broke through the forward hold. Good stuff from Ascent, and smart play from 20B backing off before getting rolled by Ascent's potential Uber.
Yeah, now we got Paul up on Sniper. That's Sizer, who's watching this right side a little bit. I think he's been spotted out, or at least he's been heard now. Badonski's in lower, though. He's got to heal up a little bit. Looks like maybe Ascent wanting to push a little sooner rather than later, or maybe Badonski was just kind of scouting it out. Maybe. Alec pushing up a little bit here now, too.
This is where we might see some off-classing action. We
Push
already
coming
see...
from bottom. We're bottom right
no,
side
we're not. Ascent is just looking to walk through this lower area, I guess, with no... They're feeling confident. The Uber v Uber, especially when 20B knows they're down here, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here. Maybe lock down that spawn area. They're throwing Shrugger away to get to get a sniper.
Get an off-class,
Shrugger. So yeah, this is where the off-classing is coming into play, Mike.
Ash going to come up and kind of have a look around, have a look-see if he can find anything. Of course, the Ascent team have backed completely out. They kind of know maybe that the forward hold's coming back in, but we saw the break it a second ago. So he gets the better of this situation here. I mean, who's got the advantage as of right now anyway? Feels like Ascent's game still right now, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Badlands last is one of the hardest lasts to push out of in competitive TF2 right now, just because the threat of the back cap is so strong. And having a sniper on Shrugger, like, you can't really even peek battlements with Shrugger on sniper without risking your life. So definitely in a sense favor here.
Yeah, Mela's kind of standing on this ledge here, and Ascent just sort of, you know, they do have plenty of time. I mean, we're not even halfway through this first half here just yet. Shrugger gonna maybe push right up and maybe catch a napping 20B player if you can. Let's watch the Shrugger cam here.
There it is.
Oh, he gets showstopper. That might be enough to come on in. Sizer's real hurt up front, and this might be real bad.
Oh, Dewatna's getting caught out
boy.
by Mela. Dewatna hits a nice 180 pipe, but Mela has full health. And yeah, they're down two. They're going to be looking to push right now, and there they go.
Well, the Ubers are popped off here. They're going to try to body block a little bit and prevent any red players from coming in, but Rando doesn't care. He's just going to come right on in. He gets taken down, though. Chopped down by Big Brown, as he's called. Meanwhile, Ash was headshot by Shrugger, and it's like, wow, 404 just getting ready to kind of bring the troops through. Nice defense, though, by Blue, but they've only got Dewana left up here.
Shrugger's just shooting
Slam
across the map. He can't even, he's not even being touched. He's just, it's like a shooting range for Shrugger, and just cleans up a couple frags before they cap the point with relative ease. But yeah, a decent effort from 20B defending last there, but they really couldn't deal with the Shrugger sniper after the Ubers were exchanged. And
so
we're 3-1 at half.
Yeah, 3-1 at half, and boy, we got so excited after that first round there with 20B, but, you know, you can't help but deny, it really does feel like this Street Hoops roster kind of needs a little bit more time in the oven, hey, Kurt?
Oh yeah, for sure. Just some communication failures, it seems. These guys are high-level players, and they're making some basic mistakes, in my opinion, just like overextending when you're down a player. So you shouldn't really be doing that. I don't know. It's definitely just communication, in my opinion. I don't think they're like playing particularly poor, but their positioning is not the greatest as a team.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good solo plays, not necessarily team plays. Yeah, we're about to go live here. Shrugger went absolutely unconscious in the first half. He had 13 frags, 355 BPM, leading the server for both. Who are we watching on this mid, Kurt?
I'm gonna watch Ash again. Like he's been having some pretty good mids. Except for the second round, he's been doing a lot of damage. So you're watching him go through his own valley here. He looks like he's jumping onto the enemy train, kind of not doing much. He's in the air and he just dies without doing any damage. I'm gonna be switching to Banonsky, who is looking at a dead 20B squad as Dewatna goes down, and Yomps is looking to finish off Kozen, and he does. 4-4 did go down there. I didn't see what took him out, but both medics down. Ascent wins mid, and they might be able to get Spire here. Alec on sniper.
Now, Kurt, this is why we have two casters. I'll tell you who got 404. The Big Show, Showstopper. He picked him out. It's surprising, actually. Sizer died right away on that mid. Sooner than I've seen a player die on a Badlands mid in a long time. It was just kind of an unfortunate rocket, I believe, that he walked into. But anyway, we're looking at a situation here where it's only about a 20% advantage. So luckily, if you're a 20B fan, this might not just be, you know, a vacuum-sucking kind of round. We might actually, well, yeah, here we go. We've got 20B just coming right up to choke. And we're going to have an encounter here, looks like.
Yeah, I like this sniper on Alec. It kind of prevented Ascent from dry pushing with their player advantage after that mid. The sniper kind of just looked down choke from the battlements area, pretty much across the map, which just denied Ascent's hopes and dreams to cap Spire, at least at that moment. So, on the flip side, they still have Uber advantage, and they're being walking in right now with it.
Yep, they sure are. Ash, oh, look at this. Ash is in behind, actually, was waiting for someone to come through flank, but he's going to get taken down. But like you said, Uber forced off now, and as long as Kozen, oh my god, no. Well, Rando took out Kozin, so forget about that huge advantage of 80% he had, and now it's just kind of every man for himself here. Alec trying to hold off Ascent in lobby, but if he can't hold them off here, I don't know. I'm looking at the respawns here, Kurt. This could be real bad.
Yeah, they're going to probably... I mean, they have two options. They can push right now with their player advantage, or they can just keep their significant Uber
Respawns are out.
advantage. So they're just going to play the Uber advantage very smart, not getting too greedy. They're giving 20B some respect here. And they're just gonna charge their Uber and push in as soon as they get it.
Alec up on Pyro, gonna try if he can to sort of, you know, be another target here, try to blast that Uber away once it gets popped. Having a look here at the blue team Ascent, who are just about to get their Uber here. Now they're not gonna wait. They know they've got advantage. Here they come right on in. Gonna target that gun down first. Alec gonna try to stay up. He actually died in spawn last time. But here we go, some frags going down. Alec goes down, Showdown now as well. And just down underneath, it's Ash trying his best to hold him off. Blue just getting on it.
Yeah, great Uber from Ascent, pushing 20B back into their spawn. As they made 20B rotate through their spawn, they had so much pressure on the opposite spawn door, they really couldn't get out of spawn without taking a ton of damage, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, well,
Ascent
it feels like 20B are playing the defense. It feels like they're kind of doing it like a football play, you know? They have it planned the same way, and Ascent just knows what to do, unfortunately. You gotta be able to adapt, right, Kurt? As we're into this mid, boy, oh boy, Ascent just looking real confident, aren't they, Kurt?
Yeah, Rando taking down Showstopper. Yeah, Rando taking down Sizer. And this mid's over before it even started.
Yeah, they came right in and got Kozin. Real easy, only Dewatna left up. You got to feel for this 20B squad, but you've got to feel that, you know, they've got more than this in them if they work together. They play a bit more. They still have a chance here. They could certainly pull off a nice defense here, but you've got to feel like Ascent are heavily favored to just come on in here. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at... Is Alec being aggressive here? No, he's not. He got
just coming right out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're trying to...
They're going in. They're trying to kill... Oh my god, 4-4! Great stuff! They take down Mela as well, only losing one player. Yams is pretty hurt on Spire. Both Show and Ash were on Spire as well. They trade Ash for Yam. And yeah, that aggression is great. Now they have 50% Uber advantage. This is exactly what they needed to potentially turn around this game. But Dewatna is way overextended at mid as Rando is looking to go in. He screws up his jump a little bit, and Showstopper takes him down. And yeah, this is kind of sloppy. Alec was way ahead of his team and just gets killed by Benassi while that happened. I don't know if that's miscommunication or just a bit of an overextension, but with that death, they're not going to be able to push into mid right away. They probably will be doing it right now with their Uber, though.
Well, here they come. They're going to try to come through this choke area. Ash is on flank, just kind of, he's kind of getting into it. He's going to get taken down. Meanwhile, back here at mid, though, I don't know. 20B going to think better of this. Mela going to come right in, try to catch Kozin here, but he gets taken down himself. Showstopper real smartly protecting his med there. They're going to try it again through house, Kurt.
Yeah, they're eating so much spam. Great focus fire from Mela and Rando, and they finally do get through. The 4-4 is approaching Uber here.
Yeah. Well,
they're going to be looking to deny this right now.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at maybe Rando to maybe come jump through here. I'm not sure what. Badonsky trying his best. He's putting out lots of sticks, but look at this. 20B just going to come through house. Maybe try to wrap him a little bit as Dewatna kind of shows body around the choke area. Uber comes in, and they try to get in on 404, who pops just in time. And now Blue going to try to chase Red back in here. Are we going to have a repush by 20B, Kurt?
Yeah, probably. Mela's just hiding on flank. He's looking to do a ton of damage here. Gets one rocket, two rocket on the Alec. He's looking for Kozin. He's not dead yet. Kozin's half health. He's in a good position to stay alive, but Rando is coming up to clean up house. He goes down as well. Somehow Kozin lived there, and they're still in a precarious position here as Sugar is looking to finish off the rest of the 20B squad. He takes down Showstopper.
Jeez.
And
Kozin
arrows him inside a spawn.
Now, like, Alec had less than 10 HP there for it felt like about 5 minutes. He still is under gray now, right now, just kind of being a nuisance as Sizer. Oh boy! One big pill there takes out the crew, and bye Alec, bye Paul. Alright.
Alec just 2 shots, 4-4 there, but Kozin is not looking like he's long for this world as he goes down. That was a pretty sick 2-shot from Alec, but
yeah,
it really didn't work out for his team. Ash is hiding underneath the point here as Ascent is looking to dry push, maybe? Maybe they're just waiting for 4-4 again.
They're
not getting any cap time.
Yeah, some trickery, some sneaky shenanigans here. Ash may be hoping for, you know, one of those sneaky plays. He's right underneath Mela right now. Here he is. He's gonna get one rocket on a Mela, and doesn't really get the angle. He might have got Badonsky there. He's some fat damage.
Oh, he did a lot of damage to Mela, and Dewatna finished him off. And speaking of Dewatna, he's doing so much damage. He's taking down another Ascent player and almost gets Rando as well. He's looking to push choke with that massive amount of damage he just took. Alec does eat a little bit of a sticky trap, and a great fight from Badonsky. Oh my god, Sizer does take down 4-4. But that actually pretty good exchange. They did lose a bunch of players, but they got 4-4. They might lose mid here, but they're going to keep their advantage as long as Dewatna stays alive. Rando going in deep once again. But
I mean, how good are Ascent right now? Like, I'm looking at Badonsky, who's doing his Badonsky thing. Rando's going huge. Mela's had a good game as well. It's just, I don't know, a little much.
It actually worked out for 20B there. They're going to be taking this point for free, possibly with their Uber advantage. And if Ascent plays close here, they might get mulched by this showstopper Uber, but they are wisely backing off because they do not have Uber.
Yeah, still some heals. 20B got to heal up here a little bit. Kozin is maybe the one the most hurt. They're going to try to push in a yard here. They're going to hopefully take this Spire without having to... Oh my lord, down goes Ash. It was Shrugger who got him with a body shot, I believe, on Sniper here. Badonsky trying to lock down this shutter door. He's going to put some spam out here, and boy, 20B are just getting out.
Ooh, Mela just came in behind and forced Uber, so great play from Shrugger and Mela. Shrugger just taking out, or doing so much damage to both 20B soldiers, and Mela just sneaking in from behind and forcing that Uber with relative ease. And Ascent is looking to push with their massive Uber advantage they just find themselves having.
Well, I mean, you just feel the edge that they have over 20B, who almost, you know, until they get more practice in, it almost feels like they're a little bit in slow motion here at some points of this one. But here we go, Badonsky and Rando just going to try to lead the charge here and come through and mulch, as you said. And here, Ash jumping in, though. Ash came right in and got Shrugger. So down goes Shrugs. Mela's in, meanwhile, a little buried. And boy, the fight's breaking down a little bit here. Looking at 404, who's holding on to full Uber. He gets an arrow onto Ash. He's gonna sit here and eat a lot of spam. 404 to sit eating rockets. Still didn't pop off. He finally does. Man, oh man. One of the better medics in Invite, and Ash just literally just standing up there. Big numbers advantage until finally getting taken down by Yumps there.
Yeah, Cousins looking to get his Uber here. Hopefully he doesn't drop Alec, and he does. He didn't get Uber in time. Sizer needs to stay alive. They're probably just gonna run away with this Uber. They probably don't want to use Uber on a scout, but they're looking to repush with Dewatna. And here they come. They do pop, and it's a little bit awkward. They don't really get anything with it just yet. They do take out Yomps on the flank side, but that's about it.
A little bit of damage, 1 or 2 sticks. Look at this, Dewatna just kind of sending free sticks in through Shutter, just being held open by Rando. So certainly with 60% or so, I mean, Blue nowhere near getting
behind, theirs. And no one sees him coming. Here he comes.
Oh, Mela. Oh, Mela. 1 rocket, 2 rocket. He goes for the air shot. Kozin surfs away. Boy, oh boy. That was very impressive there. Kozin, but he finally does get taken down, actually, by Badonsky. It's a nice surf, though, but now we're looking at, actually 3v3 situation as Yomps picked up a little frag there, picked up Alec, and Sizer real low here with 5 HP. Gets Shrugs. We got some good fighting, Kurt.
Yeah, Shrugger had like 185, and Sizer's just like, I don't care.
Don't care.
2-shot you.
Bye.
That's all that mattered. Good stuff from Sizer. They did lose, 20B did lose their medic in that exchange, but they got Spire. And like we were saying, it is kind of hard to push out a last, even if you have pretty strong Uber advantage. And we'll see what Ascent decides to do with their big advantage they have.
Yeah, well, you know, both scouts from 20B were kind of up on bats, but I guess they got the call, you know, let's wait and see what Ascent want to do. And now Alec is hiding down below in case a push comes through trash, which it may. Ash going to join him here now. I mean, 20B, you know, they've got to wait here. I mean, they can't move off of this. They are about to get their Uber, but...
Yeah, Ascent's playing really smart. Like,
defense,
they know 20B has to make the move. They're down so many rounds. There's no reason to start throwing now, so... Ascent is just holding at their last. And even Uber's here.
Yeah, 18.5 or so minutes left in this second half here. As Ascent, you know, they're looking to take this one. Look at Yomps. He's up on Sniper now.
He's in a very aggressive position, too. Damn. I've never seen a soldier or a sniper go that far forward, and he does back off.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching behind his own point here now. Is going to, you know, probably wait as long as he can. If he can be part of the Uber fight and get a sneaky, you know, headshot after the Uber's fade. That'd be ideal. Both teams just still sort of, I don't know, Blue look really aggressive here. Like, they almost want to come out. They can't, obviously. They've got an engineer. They've got a sniper.
20B is looking to push lower right, and they're just walking in. Oh, no! Yumps drops Kozin behind the fight, and the sentry gun takes down Dewatna at the last possible second. Yumps hits that headshot from a really precarious angle, and 20B is just dropping like flies. Alec is in a position to backcap, though. It is a very obvious spot. Soldiers usually check it, and here it comes. Yeah, Soldiers. Rando is not gonna get fooled today, as he does take down Alec easily.
Yep, so now they are holding on to Uber. Ascent are able to hopefully just come on in, although you look at Dewatna trying to back them off. Oh my god, but Ascent, when they're charging forward like this, is terrifying. They're gonna try to take this man. No, they do pop off. They are gonna pop on Rando, who, oh wow, gets hit by something there in the air.
And Ash in that same spot again, just hiding underneath the point. Here he comes with Showstopper doing so much damage. Oh my god, Alec and Sizer are looking to clean up these frags. Truktruk is at a sliver of health. He's surely gonna go down here. He does. Rando is going in deep. He hits a nice rock on the Kozin. Kozin surfs away. Dewatna is hurt. Everybody's hurt on this midpoint. And it looks like 20B got the better of that exchange. Great bomb from Showstopper and Ash, just basically sinking their jumps, doing fat damage onto the Ascent players. And that's exactly what they need. They have advantage pushing the last here.
Well, they're trying to roll it forward. Dewatna's right in the lobby, just walking in. He's got some sticks in the area of 404 and Mela here, but he's going to get caught out. I've got to wonder there as he gets dropped by Mela real easy.
They do have to add, but yeah, they did lose their demo. Your demo is very important unless they do lose another player. Can Showstopper make this Uber fat? And it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Banoski's on the pursuit, on top of Kozin. Is Kozin gonna go down? He's juking this pipe. Oh my god!
He gets out somehow. There's no pack for him. He's gonna retreat completely here, but not the kind of Uber you want if you are 20B. I mean, you gotta give them credit. They wanted to use the momentum and just roll along, but something
had missing. A great forward hold, and Dewatna got caught out really early, and that dictated the rest of that exchange. And Ascent is, again, pushing out of their last. Hard thing to do. Sizer is in behind. I don't know what he's doing all the way back there. He's going to try to... Where is he? He's just hiding. Fighting Mela, and he's taking a lot of damage. This is a really weird exchange as we go back to mid here.
Yeah, Urs are popped off. Meanwhile, it's just fading here.
Ash is hiding again. They do spot him out. He hits a nice rocket onto 404, but 404 gets away safely.
Wow, we have, like, we're already developing, like, the Ash spot now.
Sizer
like,
is still behind. Here he comes.
Oh,
he's hitting the meat onto Banoski. Can he finish him off? He can't. He's still alive. What is going on? Sizer gets all the way back to his team, and Mela is in behind. Mela takes down Showstopper, does a nice rocket onto Dewatna, and Alec finally takes him down. There's like a ring around the rosy going on this mid here. It's never ending here, Mike. Sizer and Alec just chipping away at this mid here, and I don't know what's going on.
They're both way hurt. Looking at the health on the side of 20B, Sizer's at 7, Alex at 25. Dewatna was trying to hold down Choke with 22, but they're all going to finally now remember they have a medic on their side. Again, you know, you've seen kind of some weird gaffes out of 20B, but they are having some real good individual performances here. Show's going to have a look here on flank.
Yeah, he's going in. Mela is taking down Ash, but he does trade with Showstopper. It looks like Rando does trade him off as well, so Ascent gets the better of that situation as the Uber is forced from 4-4. Truktruk's looking to get into lobby, but Dewatna does have some stickies in that lobby area, but here he comes. Truktruk, oh my god, Truktruk hitting the meat onto Alec. And Sizer is a little overextended here.
Oh boy, yeah. I don't know, he's in behind everyone. He's okay. He's just gonna backspawn. Yeah, okay. He's despawned now, and you know, 20B are still waiting actually, Kurt, for some respawns here. Ash on that big 14-second respawn timer. The advantage about 30%. You guys can see there for yourself. Dewatna just sort of coating the point here with stickies a little bit, trying to prevent a quick cap. Showstopper taking a little bit of damage here. Gotta think the Ascent are probably gonna wait till they get theirs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably going to push in immediately. They should know they have an advantage. I believe they did take down Kozin in that previous exchange, and Banoski is just locking them out of the left flank. Sizer does have a nice sentry gun on that right side. They don't do much with their Uber. They do get Alec and a sentry gun. And
this point cap's so fast, though. Now the scouts, Shrugger and Yomps. Yomps is going to get on it, and boy, this could be just chipped down. They're on the point now. Mela trying to get damage. Ash not able to stop that, and it's there you go.
Yeah, they didn't get
You have
much
it.
damage done with their Uber, but they pushed 20B back into their spawn, which
Yep.
allowed them to get such great positioning for that after Uber fight. And they kept the point easily. That was a great methodical victory from Ascent on that last round. And 20B looking a little rough, but my fingers are crossed. I think they are a strong enough team to make top 4 this season. I really hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we mentioned how, this roster change of their, pretty important classes. We're not talking a scout swap here. We're talking brand new medic and brand new roamer just jumping back in. Got to get the feeling that when they, get a chance to practice a little bit more, they'll have more in them. I mean, that first round was kind of took everyone, I think, by surprise. But we've seen them. I mean, Street Hoops eSports, you think of that team name and you think of playoffs every single year. I mean, that
Yeah,
was
of course.
the thing. Is Street Hoops were consistently good every single season that they existed, and so certainly, I guess these former TSU players hoping that with that will come success going forward. But you take on the champs, and this is the way it goes down. Sometimes it is 5-1 for Ascent, and so Street Hoops will move to 3-5 in terms of their record. I'm having a little look here. Well, tell you what, let's look at the stats. We'll look and see. Who do you think had the most monster game, Kurt, in your guessing?
Well, I'm looking at the stats here, so I'm kind of cheating, but it looked like Mela, the roamer on Badlands, had the fattest damage in the server with 305 DPM, followed closely by several of his teammates. Truktruk going 288, Rando going 270, and Badonsky doing 286. So some great damage coming from the Ascent players. And
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
see.
I mean, on the other side, not a whole lot. I mean, the biggest thing to me that sticks out is looking at the team damage. It's about 39K to 33K, which is a huge, huge, huge difference.
Well, yeah,
that's a huge difference.
That's what you expect to see. Like
Yeah.
the stats basically just dictate the score line, at least in a game like this. What I look the most for is like the deaths on the medic, who's taking the heals, like how much damage they're doing with the heals. And I'm trying to analyze that right now. So we have only 7 Uber charges coming from Kozin and 1 drop from a great headshot from Yamps.
Yep.
And 16 deaths. So that's pretty rough. I know the game only went 6 rounds, and dying 16 times is pretty rough. I know Kozin to be a fantastic medic. I think it's just a matter of just meshing with the team. Like I said at the beginning of the cast, I do think Kozin has the potential to be the best medic in NA, like at his prime. I think he was.
And I mean, we said the same thing about Ash. I mean, these are 2 players that when they were at the top of their game, they were top 3 absolutely at their position. Most people would agree. So give them some time. Give them some time. This stat doesn't mean anything at all, but look at Sizer, 19 assists, just way above the rest of his team. 19 assists.
That's pretty nuts.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
That's a pretty kooky stat.
Yeah.
I want to download the Sizer POV and see what the hell he was doing.
Engineer. That's called the engineer thing.
Yeah.
Anyone that's looking out for the matchmaking update, boy, you know what to do. But anyway, I don't think we have a whole lot more that we can glean from these stats. Certainly a fantastic victory by Ascent, who look real good. Like we said, they may not have scrimmed it, every waking hour of this week so far, but they had one really strong scrim earlier tonight against Froyo, and real strong showing here. Anything else we want to mention about the match here, Kurt, that you can think of? We all saw it.
20 believe in Street Hoops to make it top 4 this season. I think they can get it together. It really depends on how seriously they take the rest of the season. I don't know how discouraged they are from that loss, but I don't think they should take it too hard. The circumstances were pretty rough for them with their situation with their new players and playing the top team in Invite currently. So yeah, I hope they can bounce back. I certainly believe they can do that, and they are actually getting a free win against Hands Off next week. And oh man, they got to go against EVL a week from today. So
well, I mean,
maybe they'll have their stuff together. The Hands Off free victory allows them to the Hands Off game. The forfeit win will allow them to scrim even more. So hopefully they can do that.
Maybe one of the only teams that actually have Hands Off on the schedule twice the rest of the season. They hadn't faced them yet, Kurt. So they're getting 2 free wins off of that, which is kind of kind of lucky, and they don't have to face Ascent the rest of the season. They've done their 2 Ascent matches. So, if you want to have a look yourself, certainly you can have a look at their schedule on the ESEA page. Everyone's looking at Street Hoops now, and I think that's fair. They've added these hype players, and there's a lot of excitement about it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Their next map is going to be Granary Pro coming up starting next month. But certainly, we've got to imagine we'll be bringing you guys some more of those games, as we will be bringing you all games the rest of the season, because that's what we do at Team Fortress TV, right, Kurt?
Yeah, we're providing some pretty good coverage. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. It's a pretty exciting season so far, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, tell you what, then, we can wrap it up here. I want to remind you guys, as always, keep an eye out at teamfortress.tv, the website, where you can read all of the latest news, as Mela, actually, there in chat, has just dropped our article that went up today about hands-off disbanding. All the latest news, all the latest gossip, all the latest, whatever else you like doing on a web forum, as well as obviously catch all the coverage there. And if you miss any matches, there's always the YouTube. We've been putting up all these VODs all season long. You can have a look back and watch those as well. But we're going to call it right there. My co-caster has been Truktruk. My name is Getawhale. Shout-outs again to Mathsad, a.k.a. Dash Sniper, who was the production guru. That's the word I always use. I've got to get a thesaurus, I think. But give some love to Dash Sniper. We are out of here. We'll see you next time, guys, on Team Fortress TV. Good night.